jobs. Thanks ever so much, Brawny.
Anytime, Teach.
New Brawny, the big tough towel.
You are watching WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul. All today's news with Mike Walcher, Debbie Ely. Dr. Walt Lyons has weather. Tom Hanneman has sports. And now, this is the 10 p.m. report.
Good evening, everyone. Within the hour, the search for 6-year-old Nichole Mau of East Bethel came to a tragic ending near Coon Rapids.
Following 3 frustrating days of searching for the East Bethel child, authorities this evening roped off an area just south of County Road 242 along University Avenue on the border of Blaine and Coon Rapids. A briefing on that situation took place just moments ago at the Anoka County Sheriff's Office, and WCCO-TV's Trish Van Pilsen is standing by now with the latest. Trish?
What they believe is the body of Nichole Mau about 7 o'clock this evening. The body was buried in a shallow grave in a wooded area near the home of the suspect in this case. The girl was wrapped in some kind of material. Authorities won't say what. She has not been positively identified, but the physical description matches. Authorities are confident they have found missing 6-year-old. Interestingly, the body was not found in the area in which searchers had been working for the past 3 days. Searchers had been concentrating in the area near the home from which Nichole was snatched. The body again was found near the home where the suspect had been living. Authorities won't say what led them to that location tonight. They do tell us, however, that the suspect himself did not talk with them, did not lead them to the girl's body. The suspect, Ronald Joseph Mercell, a 41-year-old tile layer, now faces murder charges. He was arrested on Friday, as you remember, several hours after Nichole was snatched from her bed as she was sleeping. Now, her disappearance set off a tremendous search in the Anoka County area. At one point yesterday, hundreds of volunteers and sheriff's deputies combed the area around her home, around the area in which the suspect was discovered. Through all of that, Nichole's parents were confident that she would be found safely. It appears tonight that is not the case. This search has come to a very grim conclusion. Mike?
Trish, taking the fact that the man is still only a suspect and has not yet been charged, can you fill us in on some of the background of what led possibly to the kidnapping of the girl? Was there a family dispute involved, for example?
There apparently was a family dispute. Nichole Mau's family says that the night before she disappeared, Nichole's grandfather called the police on the suspect. The suspect had been in the yard of Nichole's parents' yard, had been slashing some tires, had a knife with him at the time. The family speculates that he is angry about that incident. That may be why he allegedly came back and took the young girl.
All right, thank you for that report. Trish Van Pilsen reporting live from the Anoka County Sheriff's Department. Elsewhere tonight, 2 people were killed and 5 injured late today in a 2-car accident in Wright County. It happened at Highway 25 and County Road 37 about 4 o'clock this afternoon. The injured were taken to hospitals in Buffalo, Monticello, and Robbinsdale for treatment. At least 2 are in critical condition. Tonight, some new developments in the police shooting of a 25-year-old man on Friday night. Turns out the gun that Mark Richards was pointing at a boy was not loaded. Police say that Richards refused to put down the weapon, so he was shot by 2 officers and killed. Neighbors point out that police had no way of knowing that the pellet gun was not loaded. The 2 officers have been put on leave with pay for 3 days while the investigation continues.
Life returns to normal tonight for residents of McKeesport, Pennsylvania, forced to leave their homes this weekend. 16 cars of a train jumped the track yesterday. The cars carried toxic chemicals. None of the cars ruptured, but as a precaution, hundreds of people left their homes. Today, railroad officials righted the cars and community residents returned to their homes. A preliminary inspection shows that either a broken wheel or an axle may have caused the derailment. The cornerstone of President Reagan's stronger defense, the MX Peacekeeper missile, apparently has some serious problems. That word tonight from the House Armed Services Committee. The Democrat-controlled panel says of the 22 MX missiles already deployed, 8 have no guidance systems because of problems with the supplier, Northrop. The House members say the production models of the guidance system have only been accurate 60% of the time, but officials of Northrop disagree.
Well, the Air Force has stated that the guidance unit built by Northrop has exceeded its reliability requirements in operation with the Strategic Air Command for the past 10 months. and has also exceeded its requirements in 17 test flights. I think the record stands and speaks for itself.
The MX missile carries 10 warheads, and under President Reagan's plan, 100 are to be deployed in the coming years. But tonight, 1/3 of the partial arsenal are not operational. But there was no trouble with U.S. military hardware in the Persian Gulf today.
You're approaching a U.S. Navy warship. Your identity is not known. Your intentions are unclear. You are hazarding my vessel and may be subject to appropriate defensive measures.
A warning from U.S. naval ships to other ships in the Persian Gulf. But tonight, we're told the convoy of U.S. Navy ships and reflagged Kuwaiti oil tankers continues safely through the Persian Gulf. U.S. helicopters lead the convoy, checking the water for mines.
A World War II vintage B-17 bomber ran off a runway in West Mayfield, Pennsylvania. At least a dozen people were injured. That plane was landing as part of an air show there when it overshot the runway and slammed into a gully. There are no reports of deaths, but about 12 people on board this plane were taken to local hospitals for treatment. It was just 1 week ago tonight that Northwest Flight 255 crashed on takeoff from Detroit Airport. At least 156 people were killed. Tonight, the wreckage has been cleared from Middle Belt Road, where the modified DC-9 slammed into the ground and broke up in flames. The cause of the crash still not known. And a number of memorial services were held today for the victims of Flight 255. One service in Detroit honored the volunteers who helped last Sunday night at the crash site.
Come and see the pigs, cows, sheep, and bulls and great big horses with a whole lot of pull. Join the class of '87, August 27th through Labor Day.
I'm Raj Erickson. Win valuable prizes in the CCO Radio Twins Fan Banner Contest. Details in today's Minneapolis and St. Paul newspapers. And listen to CCO Radio.
RVs 88 only at Spickler's. 88 motorhomes, travel trailers, and fifth wheels now at limited introductory prices with unbelievable special volume discounts. But don't wait, there's less than 100 units at these once only 88 introductory prices. Spickler's is Minnesota, Wisconsin's largest RV dealer. But hurry, at these special limited introductory prices for 88, even at Spickler's, when they're gone, they're gone. Spickler's, Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Follow the rainbow for a golden deal. Right now, follow the rainbow to Toyota trucks. Your Toyota dealer has special deals on America's best-selling compact pickup. 20 models under $10,000. Low prices, yet still #1 in standard payload. Limited edition 4xs, already a low price, then add $650 in options free. It's time now for a golden deal. Just follow the rainbow to Toyota's Golden Deal Days at the rainbow's end. On now at your Toyota dealer.
Menards salutes the American worker with super savings for your all-American home. Save on Blue Dow styrofoam insulation. It's easy to apply with tongue and grooved edges for a positive seal against drafts. And protect your insulation from the elements with a Kona ThermoSeal. It brushes on and dries to a rigid protective barrier. On sale now for just $18.99. Build it better and save with American-made products from Menards.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
You may have heard about published reports today that Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev is going to visit Washington next month. Tonight, the State Department is denying that report, which was published in this morning's Los Angeles Times. State Department officials say there had been no discussions for a summit for September, but there is no basis for the story. However, officials did point out that Mr. Reagan left open an invitation for Mr. Gorbachev to come to the U.S., and the offer still stands.
Some Soviet officials and average citizens are in the United States, and that tops tonight's News in Brief. The third annual conference on U.S.-Soviet relations opened in Chautauqua, New York. With a gathering of Americans and Soviets, they're talking about ways to achieve peace. The Soviet delegation headed by the first woman to orbit the Earth. In Iowa, Democratic presidential hopefuls were on display at the state fair today. The only fireworks erupted between Tennessee Senator Albert Gore and Massachusetts Governor Mike Dukakis over finding specific ways to help the nation. And leaders of the Central American nations wrapped up their weekend peace conference. They signed an agreement that an outside funding of rebel organizations must end before true peace can come to that region. Things were not completely peaceful at the Pan American Games today. that pit American athletes in American politics against players from Cuba and other Western Hemisphere nations. The games were held in the Hoosier heartland and attracted some anti-Castro dissidents. On Friday, jeering from the stands erupted into a confrontation at a Cuban-Puerto Rican baseball game. Earlier, Cuban boxers swarmed the seats above ringside to brawl with demonstrators whom the boxers said had stomped on a Cuban flag. Those games did wrap up today, and Tony Parker will have details in sports a bit later on.
Some local people took to the sports fields today to make a statement. 16 area softball teams competed in the 4th annual Nicaragua tournament at Armitage Park in Minneapolis. The tournament is part of a local effort to raise money for humanitarian relief in Nicaragua. Organizers chose baseball because the sport is so popular in both the U.S. and Nicaragua. Last year, the tournament raised more than $1,000. Will Steger is heading south to Antarctica. The explorer who reached the North Pole by dog sled in 1986 wants to travel 5,000 miles across Antarctica. And once again, Steger says that he'll use dog sleds and skis. A French explorer and Soviet scientists will join Steger on a route that's never been attempted before. Steger says it'll take 6 months, and he plans to begin in late 1989. Picture this. You're hanging off the side of a cliff, holding on with your hands and feet, trying to decide on your next move to get to the top. Well, it sounds like a scene from an adventure movie, but for a group of local women, it's a real-life adventure. Ava Thompson explains.
Oh, did that feel good? My God, I don't believe where I am.
Sharon Heaton has found that just as there are highs to rock climbing, there are also lows.
Oh, crap. Now what do we do?
Despite the ups and downs of the sport, these women keep going. A good sense of touch comes in handy as they feel with hands and feet for a safe spot to pull up on.
I don't think of it as being scary. I think of it as really being challenging. It's a lot of problem solving. I mean, you really have to look around and find your finger holes and find your toe holes. And
if I have all my weight on this foot and my hands are over here, there's no way I can climb.
A non-profit group called Woodswoman is teaching this group of about 8 the techniques of rock climbing. Woodswoman also sponsors other outdoor trips exclusively for women.
Women want to learn a new skill, and at the same time they want to do it in a supportive atmosphere. And that's why women tell me they come on the trips, because they've heard it's very supportive, it's a lot of fun, and they meet new people. Oh, this is great.
There's competition here, but not against each other. The climbers say they're more concerned about setting their own goals instead of having someone else set them.
This was my way of testing what my limits were in a very supportive environment, working with women who would say, well, if you don't want to go anymore, you can come down now. And that was really important to me.
This is where I wish I had upper body strength.
For Heaton, each move up brings a feeling of accomplishment. She says knowing she can be a success at something she's never tried before is a real high. With Bill Kruzkop, Ava Thompson, WCCO Television News, Taylor's Falls.
And if this looks good to you and you want to join Woodswomen, you can call 870-8291. Well, I got the jitters just watching that tape.
Me, I'd fall off and hurt myself and go boom. As far as those folks know, and anybody else wants to go climb something, walk around a lake, go swim it, or do whatever you want. It's going to be gorgeous tomorrow, just like today. A little on the cool side, though.
Here at Towsley Ford
and Towsley Subaru,
our hail damage sale continues.
We sold hundreds of the over 800 cars and trucks damaged by hail.
And still hundreds more to sell, new and used.
Don't let this chance slip by. A little hail damage means a lot of money saved for you.
Hail damage prices plus 1.9% financing.
And factory cash back up to $1,500.
Hail damage prices are clearly marked on everything at Towsley Ford
and Towsley Subaru, White Bear Lake.
They're coming to McDonald's by skateboard, by canoe, even by teeter-totter. To get the most wanted mug in America.
Can you blame them?
It's Garfield on 4 colorful glass mugs.
Just the thing for when company drops in.
You get a different mug each week for just 69 cents with any McDonald's food purchase.
Listen to the man. This is important.
This summer, McDonald's is serving up 4 Garfield mugs.
Summertime, serving up summertime.
And the living is easy, right, Odie?
At McDonald's.
Songs to sing along with. From the Light FM, FM 103, WLTE. Listen to the Light FM at work all day. At home to take it easy. in the car to unwind, at night and on weekends to relax with the family and friends. Here's how we do it. No boring, sleepy strings. No elevator music. No blasts of rock. Just hour after hour of songs to sing along with on the Light FM 103 WLTE.
He's insane.
A pervert.
Insatiable. And very British.
Not a lot of people know that.
Tonight on Channel 4.
The worst thing about today for me was having to come to work.
Oh, it was gorgeous outside. I mean, it was a month cooler than it should be, so to speak, typical of late September, but it was gorgeous out there. Tomorrow, however, if you're up around dawn, you will probably need a jacket or a sweater. We've got in the works here basically an assault at a low temperature record because we have all the ingredients right there. We have a high pressure system, a Canadian one, very low dew points. That means a little moisture in the air. The heat can escape out into space because there's also no clouds. We have very light winds, which will allow cool air to pool near the surface, and there's dry soil. Wet soil also makes it difficult for the temperature to drop rapidly overnight. A humongous high-pressure system, some of the highest barometer readings during August seen here in the last 20 years, up to 30.5 inches, is dominating the region, keeping the precipitation to our south, and for the most part, the clouds. We were in a little clear slot during the day today, and though we're getting a few high cirrus clouds filtering in overhead, for the most part, it's going to be a clear night. Last night, there were some really nippy temperatures, a large area of 30s going all the way down into South Dakota, and some of the low temperatures, well, 42 at St. Cloud, 39 at Aberdeen and Bismarck, 37 Grand Forks. Look at this. Tower, Minnesota, 29 degrees, the coldest spot in the country, and I think that includes Alaska because it was 54 at Fairbanks. In case you're wondering how cold it can get during August, check this out. We've been as low as 34, Rochester 32, 23 at Beardsley was the coldest temperature we've had statewide during August. 27 up at Pokegama is another chilly one. 69 was the temperature today, 10 below normal. Not even real close to a record, was it? 48 was the temperature in the early morning hours today. 0 in the old rain bucket. The sun will come up at 6:25 tomorrow under what's going to be a cool day. And today's highs, well, 60s and 70s throughout this entire region. It was 40 degrees cooler than it was 2 days ago in Colorado. Still record heat in the south, though, 97 at Meridian, Mississippi. Scattered afternoon summer thunderstorms throughout this region, even some heavy ones in southern Oregon, somewhat unusual. And tomorrow, the showers in this region are going to start moving into this region, meaning getting closer to the Twin Cities, but they should hold off until Tuesday. We will see increasing cloudiness tomorrow. That'll hold the temperatures down into the low 70s, even though the winds will start coming in from the southeast. And then by Tuesday, it's still not going to warm up because we'll have some rain around. Monday shows that high-pressure system removing itself to the east with the southeast flow and the low-pressure system in the Rockies. That is going to give us a day or so of clouds and showery weather and continued cool conditions. Right now, it is clear outside. 58 degrees at this moment. Dew point is, actually, it's down at 42 degrees, 55% the humidity, north winds hardly. And the barometer, look at that, 30.39, and it is rising. We're right in the middle of the high-pressure cell. Tonight, mostly clear, very cool. Range in temperatures from about 38 degrees to about 48, depending on where you are in the urban heat island. Very light winds. And tomorrow, after a fair start, we'll have increasing high clouds with high about only 71 with southeast winds picking up. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, warmer, 56 degrees. Then mostly cloudy with rain showers on Tuesday, high about 72. And the week ahead is going to stay in that vein, 50s and 70s with off and on patches of clouds. So the dog days of summer have taken a break, and they're down to our south by about 1,000 miles.
But I'll bet they're not gone for
I have a
too long.
funny feeling the State Fair will bring them back. I don't know why.
I think you're right. Speaking of the State Fair, the State Fairgrounds still look a little desolate, but 4 days from now, thousands of people will arrive for the 1987 State Fair. And in anticipation of all of those folks and their money, concession workers today readied their food stands. The 10-day-long fair starts this Thursday, runs through Labor Day, offers everything from livestock to live entertainment. And a reminder, we will be broadcasting our news from the fairgrounds again this year. Stop by and watch our noon, 5, and 6 p.m. newscasts.
All right, and State Fair time, and also time for the Twins to start winning again.
Well, either that or they're going to get a ticket out of town after the State Fair. No, hey, they're going to come back because they're back home tomorrow night. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
And delivers. He walks him 4-1.
I've come for silver. Of course, he'd want new Amoco silver.
And it's high time folks had something better than regular unleaded.
You sure know your gasoline.
Oh, friend, my car knows.
For better performance than regular unleaded, try pure Amoco silver.
Grandpa, who was that masked man?
I don't know, son, but his car knows.
Well, silver! Away!
He's a doctor of optometry here at the Eye Works. First step in the glasses fast, glasses right promise. Thanks, Steve. This little piece of paper is my prescription for a new pair of glasses. Now, here's the really fast part. The lab's right here in the Eye Works with the specially trained technicians and all the latest equipment. They can make my glasses in an hour. You can stay and watch if you want. The new me. That fast.
The Eye Works. Glasses fast, glasses right. Call for an exam or bring in your prescription.
In ancient Greece, live snakes were used to treat the sick, along with prayers to the gods. But one man defied superstition and boldly declared that sickness is not sent by the gods, nor taken away by them. Sickness has a physical basis, he said. Find the cause and treat the disease. Hippocrates' quest for truth still lives today in the doctors and nurses of United Hospital, St. Paul's Hospital.
The world's on fire, show 'em all you have to go. Put the heat on the street and watch the faces start to glow. Turn it on.
The heat is on at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Now get great savings on Mercury Cougar when you buy a preferred equipment package along with 1.9 APR financing. Save on Mercury Sable with a preferred equipment package and 1.9% financing.
Turn it on and on and on and on. Turn the heat on.
See your Northwest Lincoln Mercury dealer.
And it's mighty good the Twins are back in town, but not so good the team they're playing. Detroit's mighty hot.
That ain't no bargain, home or away, right? Detroit, the hottest team in baseball right now. But they are home, and that should help. After a nightmarish week on the road, losing all 6 games for their longest losing streak of the season, the Twins return to the friendly confines of the Metrodome to open a 3-game series tomorrow night against the Tigers. After today's 6-4 loss to Boston, the Twins' road record is now 24-41, and in the Dome, they are 42-19. The Yankees helped today by beating Oakland, so the Twins still own that 2-game lead in the AL West. Gary Gaetti got the Twins rolling today with his 27th homer of the year off Jeff Sellers. Smalley followed with his 8th, and it was 2-zip after an inning and a half. Kent Herbeck kept up the heavy barrage, slamming his 31st home run in the top of the 3rd with Gagne on base, and lefty Steve Carlton had a 4-0 lead. But Carlton started to lose it in the bottom of the 4th. It took a nifty double play here to get Carlton out of a bases-loaded jam. He was not that lucky, though, in the next inning. A bunt, a balk, a hit, and a run-scoring walk. 1 run came in, set the stage for a grand slam home run by Don Baylor. Baylor nailed a Carlton pitch for his 16th homer of the year and his 12th career grand slam. Dwight Evans added a solo homer off reliever Juan Berenguer. That was it, 6-4 Boston. Jeff Sellers closed the Twins down. He got a career-high 11 strikeouts today, and he got his 5th win. And Gardner came on to pick up his 6th save. It was the 13th loss of the year for Carlton. Oakland stays 2 games back of the Twins after losing 4-0 to the Yankees. Claudell Washington picked up the game-winning RBI early here. His third inning double scored 2 Bronx Bombers. That was 2 more than the A's would score all day. Rick Rhoden took the bat out of Oakland hitters' hands. Literally, watch here. Mickey Tettleton sent the bat down the line to Don Mattingly on this strikeout. Look out. Rhoden worked 5 innings to pick up the win. It helps to be 6'6" or more, especially on an 8-foot wall. Dave Winfield steals a Dave Murphy bid for a home run. And Oakland's only threat to score, and he gloves this one, is all over. The Yanks helped the Twins with that 4-0 win over the A's. So here's how they stand now in the West. The Twins are 6 games over 500, 2 games up on Oakland. California and Kansas City are tied for 3rd, 3.5 games back. Well, 38 is the magic number in Milwaukee after today's game with Kansas City. Paul Molitor has extended his hitting streak to 38 games. He lined a 5th inning single off the Royals' Charlie Lee Brandt. Paul had more to smile about than his hitting streak today. Bill Schroeder gapped a double to left center to score 2. The Brew Crew went on to a 10-5 win over Kansas City. Now let's take a look now at the baseball scores in the American League. There's that Milwaukee score over Kansas City. Detroit beats Cleveland today. Baltimore over Seattle. California tops Toronto. And in the 7th, Chicago leads Texas 4-1. The California Angels picked up stayed 2 games behind the Twins, or picked up a game in the Twins, I should say. Wally Joyner didn't clear the center field fence here by much, but he did get a home run. Dave Stieb hasn't lost a game since July 10th. That is until today. Bill Buckner cushioned it with a solo shot, his 4th-round tripper of the year. The Angels beat one of the better teams in the American League today, Toronto 5-2. The Angels pick up a game on the Twins. Here's how the scores went in the National today. St. Louis over Cincinnati. The Dodgers topped Philadelphia. The Mets easily over San Diego. San Francisco beat Montreal. Atlanta 6, Pittsburgh 2. Houston beat the Cubs by the score of 4-2. Well, Viking quarterback Tommy Kramer reported to training camp today following 4 weeks at Hazelden for treatment of alcoholism. Tommy, who will work out with his teammates for the first time tomorrow, says the future is bright, but it holds no guarantees.
It's not something that you can say that's never, it's never going to happen again, because that it could happen again, or it might not happen again. But it's something that as long as you're conscious of it and aware of it, then your chances of it not happening again are much better.
Well, Tommy will be in uniform for Saturday's game against New England, but Wade Wilson will probably start that game also. A couple of NFL scores tonight. Philadelphia defeating New England in overtime, 19-13, and Los Angeles came back to beat San Diego 23-21. Well, things aren't always as they appear to be, especially in horse racing. Today at Canterbury Downs, a 30-1 shot. Mom's Ferrari led wire to wire and crossed the finish line first, but Bolshoi Boy was ruled the winner of the Canterbury Cup.
Bolshoi Boy rallies on the outside. Mom's Ferrari digs in. Fork in the road is next. Mom's Ferrari may pull it off in front of next. Bolshoi Boy on the outside. It'll be Mom's Ferrari upsetting the Canterbury Cup.
Mom's Ferrari finished first, but was disqualified for bumping Bolshoi Boy and dropped down to 3rd place. Bolshoi Boy, the favorite, was given the win and a check for $87,000. The judge's decision cost Mom's Ferrari's owners, they are local owners, about $40,000 or $50,000.
That's a costly
break.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Tony. Coming up next, Trish Van Pilsen has more details on the discovery of Nichole Mau's body this evening, and we'll have a report from Trish in a moment.
Okay, now the first thing you do when cleaning fuel injectors is to make sure you have plenty of Conoco unleaded gasoline.
Yeah. Conoco's unleaded gasolines with Power Scrub clean your engine's fuel system.
Right, then you spray the left.
So your car runs smoother.
And then you scrub to the right.
With more power.
And then you fire! Any questions?
Get Power Scrubbed with Conoco unleaded gasolines.
For over 100 years, you have known us as Mountain Bell, Northwestern Bell, and Pacific Northwest Bell. But we are also U.S. West Direct, publishers of the Yellow Pages. We are U.S. West Information Systems, competing with AT&T and IBM to serve the voice and data communications market. We are U.S. West Cellular. We are Beta West Properties. We are U.S. West Financial Services. We are the 70,000 men and women who serve the telecommunications needs of over 9 million customers and almost half the continental United States. We are U.S. West. Nobody knows the trails better.
Trish Van Pilsen now has an update on the Nichole Mau case from the Anoka County Sheriff's Department. A major search for Nichole took place this weekend, but tonight her body was found near the Blaine-Coon Rapids border. Trish?
Mike, members of the Anoka County search team found that they believe there's the body of Nichole Mau about 7 o'clock tonight. Authorities say the wooded area in which the body was found was the last place in the
The suspect in the kidnapping of Nichole Mau had rented a room at that residence near that wooded area. Nichole is in custody in the Anoka County Adult Correctional Facility and is being rebooked on charges of murder in the first degree.
Now, the body has not been positively identified. An autopsy will be done tomorrow, but authorities say the physical description does match. The body was found in a shallow grave. The girl appeared to be wearing night clothes. She was wrapped in some kind of material. Authorities won't say what. Mau was kidnapped from her bed as she slept early Friday morning. Her disappearance set off a huge search. Hundreds of people yesterday combed the area around her home. The suspect was arrested just several hours after her disappearance, a few miles from her home, but authorities say he did not help lead them to her body tonight. Authorities say that they're not sure of the motive behind the kidnapping, but we're told that the suspect was involved in an argument with Nichole's grandfather the night before she disappeared. The family speculates that could be the motive behind this alleged kidnapping. Now, throughout the three-day search, Mau's family remains confident, remains hopeful. We talked with Nichole Mau's mother this morning, Pamela. She said she was confident her daughter would be found alive. The suspect will make a court appearance at the Anoka County Courthouse tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thank you very much for your report, Trish. We appreciate you filling in further details despite the technical difficulties we're having with our signal from Anoka, and certainly we'll have more details on our newscast tomorrow about the suspect appearing in court in the Nichole Mau case, her body found this evening, or what is believed to be the body of Nichole Mau found this evening.
Okay. Looking at tomorrow's weather forecast, we can expect partly cloudy skies and a high of 71 degrees. That's it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us.
A Channel 4 editorial replied, "We favor a plan to develop in its entirety a park of nearly 300 acres on the shores of Lake Minnetonka." With an opposing view, State Senator Jen Olson.
The vision that preserved the shores of the Minneapolis chain of lakes for public enjoyment was used as justification for supporting Hennepin Park's proposal for a 292-acre regional park on Lake Minnetonka in the city of Minnetrista. What was not said is that the boating public has almost no use of the Minneapolis lakes. The result has been increasing pressure on Lake Minnetonka. People come to Lake Minnetonka to get on the lake. That's where the magic is, not in acres of parkland from which Lake Minnetonka cannot even be seen. Hennepin Parks claims their plan is needed to serve 600,000 uses, the equivalent of 15% of the entire state population each year. The cost to the taxpayers is likely to be over $20 million to acquire and develop that land. The $6 million approved by the legislature is only the beginning. An alternative plan for a park of approximately 175 acres in the same area has a potential of 1/2 of the land being donated, with an additional donation of land to make parking available for a public boat access in the city of Mound, where there is now no secured parking. None of these land gifts are available under the current plan. I believe a plan which achieves the goals for increased boat access to Lake Minnetonka, provides a beautiful 175-acre park area for non-boaters' enjoyment as well,